It's Brooke and Jeffrey in the morning, and I just had a cartoon paperclip pop up and say, It looks like you're trying to host a radio segment. Would you like some help with that?
Clippy!
No, Clippy. I don't want help, and I obviously need to get a new computer.
You haven't run an update in a while.
No,
Sorry,
I
Jeff.
should probably turn this one in, but we're going to do a Clippy-free edition of What's on Your Mind, where we go around to figure out what all the hosts have been thinking about lately, starting with Brooke. Brooke, what's on your mind?
I almost lost all of my teeth. I'm not even exaggerating, you guys. I went to the dentist to pick up a night guard. I've never had a night guard before. I'm like a grinder and a
You're a
clencher.
sleep grinder.
Grinder, yeah.
So I go in and they're like, oh, it's done. And just pop it in, try it on. So I pop it in and she's like, how does it feel? I'm like, well, it's kind of tight. You know, you can't talk with these big things in your mouth. She's like, okay, take it off. You guys, it would not come off. So she reaches into my mouth and she's like, oh God, it's not coming off.
Oh, they made it.
So then they call in the next dental assistant. So now there's two dental hygienists in my mouth on each side trying to pull this thing off. And I think my teeth are going to come out with it. It is so tight. It's like suctioned into my mouth. So then the dentist comes in. Now we're 25 minutes into this ordeal. It is a huge thing all over the office. He's like, I'll just have to cut this thing off. And he's drilling the plastic, which is so thick. And he finally gets through. And you guys, it still is stuck.
Well, it's not on your teeth right now, is it?
Then I'm like, how about some hot water?
Okay.
And so she goes and gets these Dixie cups of hot water, you know, the blue Dixie cups that they have at every dentist place. And she's like, try this. So I'm like,
Little ones?
swishing water. And anyway, after 40 minutes, the water worked and it finally came off.
Like popped off.
And do you know how it ended?
How?
They're like, oh, you'll have a new one here in 2 weeks. And I'm like, I don't know if I want one.
Coming back here again.
I don't know if I want it. I was like, what would have happened if I put that on at home without trying it on at the dentist office?
Free veneers?
Yeah. Wear it permanently.
I'm glad your mouth's doing okay today.
Well, we'll see in 2 weeks, Jeff.
Okay, Jose, what's on your mind?
If you don't
Yeah.
know, I live literally in front of a huge arena.
Yeah.
Okay? So I call the Uber, I go downstairs, and when I go outside, there's traffic everywhere.
Probably an event or something.
There was an event going on, which I didn't realize, and the guy's there with his merchandise. I hop in. Immediately, the guy yells at me.
What? What?
He's yelling at me, saying, why would you ever call an Uber during a concert? And I go, oh, is that what's happening? He goes, you don't know what's happening?
Oh, he's mad at you.
I go, no, I don't. He goes, you live right in front of an arena, and you don't know what's going on? And I go, no, I don't look up the schedule every night. And
Why don't you look up the schedule every night?
I just live there.
He's just
He
frustrated.
was blocking traffic. He should
I
have
see.
pulled into the alley.
Okay.
Anyway,
So
and
now you're arguing back
you're
and forth.
literally arguing to the point, guys, I almost, and I've never done this, I almost said, hey, can you just pull over, man? I'm going to get it. I'd rather give my money to another Uber driver.
Wow.
Being, like, rude. So, awkward silence for like a minute, and then he goes, well, what do you do for a living? And I go, oh, I'm a radio personality.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
For what? Brooke and Jeffrey in the morning? Oh my god, I love that show!
No!
He says, oh, that's my favorite show.
So
No way, you're
awkward.
Jose. And I'm like, yep. So then the other half of my
He's
ride.
like, well, why haven't you laughed? If you're Jose.
So the other half, he loves me. He loves all of you guys. He couldn't stop saying how much he loves every
poor,
single
maybe
one.
you just having a bad
Everything was
day.
great. And so then he drops me off.
And you're like,
And
how do you tip?
Exactly, Brooke. I'm like, what do I do? Do I want to give him the maybe, I don't know, 1 star, 2 stars, and like no tip for being rude? Or do I go off the second half and I'm like, he's a huge fan.
Yeah.
He was nice. Like
Tip
Brooke
him
said,
well.
He
Right.
could have had a bad day. So I'm a sucker and I gave in and I gave him 5 stars and a 20% tip.
Yeah.
But I feel
there it
guilty
is.
about it.
We can be bought if you tell us.
We
the
easily
thing.
can, yeah. Just tell us you like
Not
us.
for much.
No.
either. Yeah.
Alexis, what's been on your mind?
You guys know I hate confrontation, like of any sort with anybody,
Yeah.
literally ever.
Yeah.
So the other day I was at a coffee shop with my friend. We get like 2 coffees. It's like $15, I don't know, something like that, okay? We go back the next day, exact same order. I'm going to pay, and they're like, okay, that would be $45.
Whoa, what?
Okay?
Oh.
But I was like, I know it's wrong, but I don't want to like say something.
No, Alexis.
There's like a line, and there's like
Still.
people. It was just so awkward. So I go to do my Apple Pay, and like I'm literally doing it, but then my friend did interject and say something to them.
Yeah.
Whoa, whoa,
But then it
whoa.
got awkward because the employee was confused, then I was confused. And it was just so weird, and I didn't pay it, but I was going to.
That is disturbing.
I'm still
Okay.
uncomfortable by the whole situation,
Yes.
actually, and I wish I had just paid it at this point. But I'm realizing it's kind of a problem now.
Yeah.
And anyway, I will.
Thank God you had your friend with you.
I know.
Yeah,
right?
Friends are for.
All right. All right, Jeffrey, what's on your mind?
I'm just kind of in a complainy mood today, so I'm gonna rattle off my top 3
let's go for
complaints
it.
for the week.
I'm not anti this at all.
Yeah.
Number 1, I went to a climbing gym and I could see the one for kids only
Yeah.
next to us, and the parents are so overprotective. They are inside the children's climbing structure with their kids,
Oh, yeah.
human shielding them
Yeah.
the entire way.
Yeah.
Let your kids climb, okay?
Okay.
It's a padded structure. They'll
Yeah.
be okay.
Let him
Yeah.
get jumped on. That's
Second,
okay.
I have a bone to pick with the grocery store near me.
Oh.
Here we go.
If you say your rotisserie chickens are going to be ready by 11 a.m. every day, stick to it. Have them ready by 11 a.m. Don't make me show up at 11:10 to get my ingredients for my homemade stew, and they're like, "Oh, sorry, the chickens aren't going to be ready till 12:30
You
today."
needed pulled chicken
Really
meat.
early for a rotisserie.
I'm making a stew.
Okay.
It needs days in order, a
Okay.
whole day in order to make the stew
All
for it.
right.
Slow cook process.
And finally, I send out an email every Monday on this show asking certain people to help me come up with song ideas for the week.
Uh-oh.
Severely underwhelmed by the recent suggestions.
I didn't know
from the
this.
people on the team. Let me give you some examples that I've gotten recently.
Okay.
One person suggested a song about being nice to your neighbors.
Aw.
Like I'm frickin' Mr. Rogers or
Yeah.
something, taking off my shoes and singing about it.
Kind of boring.
Same person wanted a song sang about the first FedEx delivery that happened 50 years ago.
Oh.
How did you do a whole song?
Exactly.
That's really
Talk
cool.
about
I
a
got out
lame
of a
song.
truck.
The
brought
person
the
behind
package.
both of those suggestions, Alexis Fuller.
I did.
Alexis came up
I
with
didn't
those
even know I
ideas.
said those.
So I'm announcing it today. Alexis, you're out.
Yes!
Brooke, you're in. You're on the song squad.
It's hard. I didn't remember a suggestion was there's no option.
That's what's on my mind. Big changes coming all over the place.
Oh,
Yeah, they are.
Text in 78592. Tell us what's been on yours. It's Brooke and Jeffrey in the morning.